Should this just be my intro? Me talking to you?
No,
It's gonna be my intro.
that's
So, guys, on this episode of Dragon Ball Z, we're gonna talk about the benefits of exercise. Okay. So there's a variety of benefits that exercise has been proven to help you with, but there's three that sticks to me very well. Not like a silly putty or a little squishy thingy that had the hand and then the sticky. You know what I'm talking about? That thing. But anyways, so it's the functional aspect, it's the mortality aspect, and the psychological aspect. So the functional benefit of exercise is often overlooked. People normally care about the aesthetics. You got the nice chiseled abs or some nice pecs. Anyways, people take for granted that you can open doors, stand up, or go upstairs. As you age, your muscle mass atrophies and your bone density also decreases. You can't do anything to stop it. But what you could do is you can slow it down. Exercise is a fantastic tool to do that. But it's important to start your habits young, because when you get older, you won't have as much energy, you won't recover as quickly, your metabolism slows down, and that's why I always preach starting early and rather than later. Although you can do it later, it's easier to do it now. Number 4, the mortality benefit. I'm going to get a little serious with you guys. The CDC estimated about 12.6, if I remember correctly, 12.6% of Americans are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is completely preventable. It's caused by unhealthy eating habits and not participating in exercise, which I'm trying to get my point across. Cardiovascular disease is one of the leading causes of death in America. And 36% of Americans have pre-diabetic symptoms. So about 50% of Americans are borderline or have diabetes, which is scary. You don't actually grasp that fact until you hear the numbers, because people, as you guys know, Americans are fat, which is true. But 50% are either borderline or have it. It's very unsettling. But enough of that. Numeral trace, the psychological benefits. I can go into detail about endorphin releases and hormonal releases that occurs during exercise, but I'd rather talk from my own personal example. Every time I go into the gym, play ultimate frisbee, dance like a monkey. Anyways, anytime I do those stuff, I find a sense of relief. My mind isn't so cluttered. My main focus is performing, especially with powerlifting. At any one time, you can have 300, 2 to 3 to 400 pounds on your back. And if you aren't focused, you aren't engaged in that moment, you can injure yourself. And because of that, I'm able to shut out everything else and just focus on that moment. Just because you don't have 2 to 3 to 400 pounds on your back doesn't mean it won't help to go to the gym and exercise. What I preach is the mind and muscle connection. Every movement should be purposeful, and every movement should be precise. In general, you want to be purposeful with your movements, and by doing so, oftentimes, for me personally, it shuts out everything else. Alright, I'm going to stop talking, stop ranting. Thank you guys again for listening to me talk. Again, I'm trying to do this to help me enunciate and talk about this kind of stuff to people. Again, thank you. Deuce. Numero Trace. 3. Trace? Is it Trace or Trace? Trace 13, right? Numero Trace.